We're going to keep on rolling. We've got a few more things to go. Guys, in 1 hour, and maybe less if I could start it slightly early, I will. We're going to have our championship between LBA and I hope you're ready. We've got a handful of things to do in between then, and I'd like to get back to one of... I'll get back to one of my 10 Years of Gratitude Awards. 10 years of gratitude. Remember, I can't possibly sum up 10 years in one day. But there are groups of people all over that have a big part to do in this, and teachers are one of them. Without our teachers, we wouldn't be here at all. Our teachers are literally the first step into us existing. And I've been able to work with a lot of teachers and have good relationships with a lot of teachers. And in all honesty, there's a couple of teachers that downright don't like me. And that's just the way of life. However, I do think that there's a teacher that I could talk about right now that could accept this on behalf of all the teachers. Because I think that's just the type of lady that she is. I don't know if I've ever met a teacher who's challenged me as much. And I think every time I interact with this teacher, I learn something. And the very first time I ever worked with her students, I remember talking specifically about questions in improv. And if you know anything about improv, you know that questions are not supposed to be a thing. I have kind of a slanted view on that particular idea. And I was talking about my slanted view and not so much about the actual 101 version of what questions mean in improv. I remember the teacher kind of stopping me cold in my tracks and questioning me in front of the students. And like, well, wait. And it was the absolute right question to ask. But I was in such a good mode that I literally stopped. I was like, huh? And that has kind of been my relationship with this particular teacher. And what's kind of cool is as we get older, I think we're creatures of habit. And we find things we like and we stick to and we do it in routine. And I'm constantly watching this teacher reinvent the wheel and try new things and inspire so many kids at a giant program that she's run the entire time that I've been here. Without her, we would not have had Kelly. About 5 years ago, there's a student that passed away that was a Jester. And I'm going to switch it to get off that side to give you a quick personal thought on that. And the teacher said, because of the way things are, you can't do certain events or whatnot. You have to, CCSD's just got certain rules, and asked if I'd be willing to do a improv show for that particular student. And yeah, absolutely. That student loved improv and really loved doing it. And I didn't get to have a ton of time with that student, but every time that student worked with me, I knew how much he loved improv, and I got to do a show. And that was one of the weirdest, coolest experiences of my life, because I watched a family in the front row with shirts in his face. And I watched them cry during moments where everyone else was laughing. I watched them laugh during moments where everyone else was crying. It was such a weird show to be a part of, and I remember getting to that show pretty good. Like, I'm a little teared up now, but I remember getting to that just fine. I remember at the end of that show kind of talking with the teacher and another teacher that knew that student. And I remember kind of having a flush of adrenaline at that time, just like, whoa, what did I just do? And this teacher had not only that gives these opportunities to her students, but gives that opportunity to adults, to leagues, and is a huge reason why this league has grown to what it is. And there's a lot of teachers that have played their part, but I truly feel that every student who's ever worked with this teacher has really gotten something from her, and they should really consider her special, because I do, and I think this league does. So please give a little bit of love to my Centennial